Holy sh! Hi guys, I'm Babaloo, and I just got home from watching Avengers Age of Ultron, and now I'm gonna try my best to explain to you guys why you should go see this movie. Because you really should! I honestly don't even know where to start. So I'll give you guys a brief rundown first, and then I'll go a little bit more in depth. So the basic premise of Avengers Age of Ultron is that Tony Stark and Bruce Banner kind of accidentally create Ultron. Now, Tony Stark had this vision of what Ultron can be, but when Ultron woke up, he had a completely different idea. He knew that he was created to make peace in the world, and his idea of creating peace is to get rid of all the humans, because clearly we're the problem. So he sets out on a quest to destroy all human life. Along the way, he recruits two new characters, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. And these two guys are awesome. I really enjoyed them. I should mention that Ultron is voiced by James Spader, and he was amazing. He was one of the most intimidating Marvel villains ever. When I went into it, I thought he was just going to be completely cold and heartless and ruthless, though he did have a bit of humor to him. And it was a good mix of humor and ruthlessness. It wasn't one overpowering the other one too much. But getting back on track. Once the twins, as Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are called, figure out what Ultron is actually trying to do, they decide they don't want to work with him anymore, and they go and they join the Avengers to stop him. And then we have our big epic showdown of Ultron versus the Avengers, and also Ultron's army of himself. Yes, he built several copies of himself to fight for him. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to give you guys my rating for this movie, because after this I'm going to go a little more in depth, and if you don't want anything ruined for you, you can just watch this and then that's it. You don't need to watch anymore. So I think this is obvious, but this movie was amazing. I want to go back and see it a second time right now. It was that good. So if there's anybody that wants to stick around for more of an in-depth look, I'll get right into that. So the movie starts out and our Avengers are on a mission. And their mission is to find Loki's scepter. Apparently they've been looking for it for the last little while, and they finally pinpointed where it is. So they storm the facility and they eventually get Loki's scepter. Now Thor wants to take it back to Asgard because it's too powerful to leave on Earth. But Tony convinces him to leave it on Earth for about 3 days so he can have a look at it and learn more about it. So him and Bruce Banner, the science bros, work together and they find out there's actually some form of artificial intelligence inside the scepter. Tony's ultimate dream is to create a world where nobody gets hurt. He wants, as he said, to put an armored suit around the Earth. So that's where he comes up with the Ultron program. He thinks he can build robots that can protect people all around the world. But he eventually leaves the program going while he goes and talks to his Avenger buddies. And while he's gone, Ultron wakes up. And once Ultron realizes what he's meant to do, he basically kills Jarvis and escapes through the internet so that he can wreak havoc across the world. There's an awesome scene when he first escapes and he runs into the Avengers in their little party, and it really shows that even though this was just an initial assault, this isn't going to be easy for the Avengers. Then the rest of the Avengers find out what Tony was doing and they were none too happy because Tony didn't tell anybody else about it. And now he basically caused the imminent destruction of Earth. So they set out to try and find where Ultron went. Ultron then recruits Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, because they actually have a deep hate for Tony Stark. Because when they were kids, their hometown was being bombed and they saw that the bombs were actually Stark Industry weapons. So because of that, they blame Tony Stark for their family being killed. And also at this point, Ultron has had a bit of an upgrade. He's bigger, he's badder, and he's more intimidating. Ultron then wants to get some vibranium to make even more upgrades. And he knows that the one man who has a whole bunch of vibranium is Ulysses Klaue, who will be a big part of the Black Panther story. The Avengers find out that Ultron is there getting the vibranium and they go on the offensive, and it does not go their way. Everything starts out good with them just fighting the Ultron bots, but then Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch enter the fight and it completely changes the tide. Basically, Scarlet Witch shows each of them their deepest fears, and that can really mess somebody up. So Ultron gets away with vibranium and the Avengers leave to lick their wounds elsewhere. They go to a safe house and we find out that Hawkeye actually has a family. He has a wife who's pregnant and 2 kids. While they're at Hawkeye's safe house, they have some time to talk about what happened and to figure out what they're going to do next. They eventually find out that Ultron is building a new version of himself, made completely out of vibranium, and vibranium is the strongest material on Earth. They go after him again and steal the android that he was making. Their plan was to destroy the android, but Tony decides to try and turn it into a weapon for them. But of course the others weren't too happy about that, because when he tried to do that before, he created Ultron. But then Thor comes in and says that he saw a vision that this thing needs to be created if they want to beat Ultron. Then using the life gem, which was inside Loki's staff, they create the Vision. And this guy is awesome. What they basically did is they took Jarvis, Tony's computer butler, and put him inside the android so he would be easy to control. But the Vision himself said he's not Jarvis and he's not Ultron, he's something new, even though he has Jarvis's voice. They then find out Ultron's big plan. Now Ultron said that he's fascinated with meteorites and how they can completely destroy the Earth. So what he did was built a machine that can magnetically hold a piece of the Earth together. He then planned to raise that piece up and then have it come crashing down onto Earth, basically creating another meteor that caused the dinosaurs to go extinct. And they have the last big showdown with Ultron in this city that is slowly being raised in the sky. Now I'm going to give you guys a spoiler right here. So I'm going to put up a spoiler tag for the duration of the spoiler. So if you don't want to hear it, you can either mute the video or you can just skip ahead to when the banner's off, because then I'll be done talking about it. Okay, I will be saying it in 3, 2, 1. In the big battle with Ultron, Quicksilver dies. Yes, this character that they just introduced into the story dies. He does not come back to life, he dies. And while I don't like that, the part that I do like is this entire movie, they have been setting up Hawkeye to die. They used all the signs that Hawkeye was going to die, showing his family, showing that he was such a loving father, even his wife asking him not to go, and he said this was the last mission. Those are all clear signs that Hawkeye was gonna die, but they completely fooled us and they kill off Quicksilver instead. Thus ends the spoiler. So the only way they can really stop this meteorite from destroying the Earth is to destroy the meteorite. So their plan is to destroy the machine that is holding this whole area together. But first they gotta get all the civilians off this area. They eventually do that, and there's another dark, will they make it, will they not make it with all the Avengers, because they make it seem like not all of them might survive. But of course, everybody gets out okay from all the flying debris and all that. And in the aftermath, we see that the Hulk actually gets away. Throughout the whole movie, he was saying that he's not safe to be around and he wants to leave. But he eventually gets on a Quinjet by himself, puts it in stealth mode, and leaves so nobody can find him. So I'm interested to see what will actually happen with the Hulk later on. Also, one quick thing about the Vision. He can hold Thor's hammer. I don't exactly know why, possibly because he is basically kind of pure good, so he gets to hold the hammer. But anyways, Thor says that Vision can continue to live because he is sustained by the life gem. Then at the very end we see that the Avengers have a brand new headquarters. It's this nice facility out in the middle of nowhere, and they have basically everything they need. So everybody says goodbye and whatnot, except we go into the facility and we see Captain America talking to some new recruits. Kind of new. Those recruits being War Machine, Falcon, and Scarlet Witch. He then looks at all of them and proudly says, Avengers? Yeah, they cut it off after he says Avengers. We all knew he was going to say Avengers Assemble, but just to be a troll, Joss Whedon cut it off before he could actually say Assemble, because he apparently likes doing that. Now I'm going to tell you guys about the post-credit scene. And I'm going to put up a spoiler banner again, just because I don't know if you guys want to know about it or not. So I'll be saying in 3, 2, 1. So this scene is basically Thanos taking the golden gauntlet, no gems on it, just the gauntlet, and saying, okay, I'll do it myself then. Which tells me Thanos is totally in play now. I hope he shows up again, because even his small little appearances have excited me so much through the movies. Thus ends the spoiler. Now there is only a mid-credit scene, there's no post-credit scene. I knew that going into it, but I wanted to stick around to the end just to make sure. So if you go to see this, you can just see the mid-credit scene and then go home. And I already said this, but I just want to say again, James Spader as Ultron was amazing. I even got the Avengers Cup, and you could get any little figure to go on top. I got Ultron. I also want to say that I was expecting this to really be kind of a lead up to Captain America Civil War, with there being a lot of tension between Cap and Iron Man, but it doesn't really have that. There is a little bit of tension, but it doesn't really grow into anything else. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. So now that we're at the end, I just want to say one more time, this movie was amazing. Go watch it, you will not be disappointed. Oh, and the Hulk versus Hulkbuster armor fight was awesome. It was just so cool to see that with Bruce Banner's help, Tony was able to make a suit that could actually stand up to the Hulk. it was somewhat of a fair fight. And also they call the suit Veronica. And I know everybody's going to be comparing this Quicksilver to the Quicksilver in X-Men Days of Future Past. And I just want to say that they are two completely different Quicksilvers. They are the same character, but they are done in two completely different ways. With that being said, I did like the X-Men Days of Future Past one better because he was funny and quirky. This guy was all about business. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. If you want, you can check out some of my older videos, which I'm showing you here, and you can go down to the comments to tell me what topic you think I should make a video about. While you're there, hit that like and subscribe button so you can get notified every time a new video comes out, and thanks for watching.